Today we will start with the topic of amino acids. In this topic, before going into the details of this topic, I will first give you a small introduction about the amino acids. In this introduction, I will tell you about what are amino acids, why they are called amino acid, what is their importance in our body, and their basic structure and some important concepts about amino acids. You don't have to learn the structure of every amino acid, but for the purpose of learning, you must understand the basic structure of the amino acids. Because if you learn the basic structure and get a clear concept about it, then you will be able to understand the formation of peptide bonds, polypeptides, formation of proteins, their primary and secondary structures, and so on. So please concentrate on this lecture to fully understand the basic concepts. Now I'll start with the general introduction of amino acids. The first question asked can be, what are amino acids? Amino acids are the monomers of proteins, or they can be called as the basic building blocks of the proteins. There are 20 that occur in nature. Now, two more have been detected, so the total goes up to 22 amino acid. In this lecture, we will study the basic structure, basic terminology, important definitions, and chirality of amino acids. Now some important concepts about the amino acids. This is an amino group, and when an amino group forms a solution or goes into solution, it takes up an hydrogen ion and it becomes ion. Similarly, this is carboxylic acid group, and when it goes into the solution, it gives up a proton. That means it loses a proton and it becomes negatively charged. This ion is positively charged and this is negatively charged because hydrogen ion is lost and the electron is left here. What about carbon? Carbon, as we know, can form 4 bonds. If this point is placed on one side and this carboxylic acid group comes on the side to form the second bond, this amino group and this carboxylic acid group, when they come to a same carbon atom, they form an amino acid. The remaining valencies of the carbon will be balanced by number 1 hydrogen, and the fourth number is an R group. This R group is also called a side chain. Now all the amino acids have this structure same. This will never change. Every amino acid, all the 22 amino acids have this same structure. Only the difference is this R. This can be a hydrogen ion, this can be a methyl group, this can be anything that a side chain carbon chain that is attached to here, that changes the name of the amino acid. All the amino acid, please do remember, all the amino acid have this same structure. One amino group attached here, second a carboxylic acid group attached here, one valency is always covered by hydrogen ion, and the one valency is covered by the R group, that is also known as side chain. If we replace this R by hydrogen, then it is glycine. If we replace it with a methyl group, that becomes alanine. And if we replace it by a propyl group, it becomes valine. So now you can understand that this structure, the upper part remains the same, only this structure changes for every amino acid. Now, what is an alpha amino acid? What is an alpha amino acid? Now, this is carbon. This is hydrogen attached to it. This is the side chain. This is the ion attached to it. We will better write it like this because this carbon bonds with nitrogen, not with hydrogen. So it is better to write it like this. And this is the carboxylic acid group. We can write this carboxylic acid group like this. C double bond O, this is known as the carbonyl group. Now the definition for the alpha carbon atom is the carbon atom that is attached to the carbonyl group is known as the alpha carbon atom. Next we come to the chirality. What is chirality? Now as we know that carbon atom has 4 valencies. Amino group is attached in amino acid. This is carboxylic acid group attached, hydrogen is attached, and this is methyl group attached. So this will be alanine. Now if we take another example, this carbon atom, amino group, carboxylic acid group, hydrogen, and again a hydrogen. This is glycine. Now the definition of chirality or the carbon atom. What is a chiral carbon atom? For the chirality to be a chiral carbon atom, the carbon atom must have, the alpha carbon atom must have 4 different functional groups attached to it. As you can see in alanine, there are 4 different functional groups attached. So this is chiral. Carboxylic acid group, hydrogen, methyl group, and amino group. These are 4 different functional group attached to the same carbon atom. So this can be called as chiral carbon atom. Now if we look at the example of glycine, there are 3 different functional groups. Fourth is the same as this one. So it cannot be chiral. For chirality, it must have 4 different functional groups attached to it. So it is chiral. So glycine is not chiral while alanine is chiral, has a chiral alpha carbon atom. Now we come to the stereochemistry. What is stereochemistry for amino acids? For stereochemistry, we have to take the example of glyceraldehyde. Now these are the 2 isomers of glyceraldehyde. When the hydroxyl group is on the left side, it is called L-glyceraldehyde. And when the hydroxyl group is on the right side, it is known as T-glyceraldehyde. Similarly, the amino acids having their amino group on the left side will be L-amino acids, and amino acids having their amino group on the right side will be D-amino acids. In nature, in our body and in nature, all the amino acids that form proteins are L-amino acids. Please do remember that in nature, in our body, all the amino acids that form the proteins are L-amino acids. While all the sugars in our body, these are D sugars. Do remember these points. Now I repeat the important points to remember about the amino acids. That is, all naturally occurring amino acids are in form of L-amino acid. These amino acid forms the protein in our body, and all the naturally occurring sugars in our body are in D form. All amino acids are chiral except glycine, and glycine is the simplest amino acid in our body. Now Zwitter ion. When an amino acid carries no net charge at neutral pH, it is known as Zwitter ion. We can take the previous example. We can see that in this diagram, the amino acid carries both charges, the positive charge and the negative charge. But these charges balance each other. When these charges balance each other and the overall amino acid doesn't carry any charge. It is neutral at the pH of 7 and it carries no charge, then it is known as in Zwitter ion form. Now we can see in this example that amino acid carries both positive and negative charges. Now these charges balance each other. When these charges balance each other, the amino acid will not carry any charge. It will be a neutral amino acid. This condition of the amino acid, neutral condition of the amino acid at the neutral pH, that is pH of 7, in this form, this amino acid will be known as Zwitter ion. I hope you have understood the topic and you can remember the basic concepts about the amino acids. In the next topic, we will discuss the classification of amino acids. Please do stay with me and try to get a clear concept about the basic structure of amino acids. If you remember this structure and understand the structure, it will be very easier for you to remember the classification and further lectures. Formation of peptide bond, polypeptide bonds, formation of primary and secondary structure of proteins. It will be very easier for you. Thank you and see you again in the next lecture.